Hey, how's everybody doing today? We're going to be doing something a little different. I'm actually going to be doing my very first SGC submission. And you're probably wondering, why would I send these to SGC and not PSA? Well, a couple reasons. One is a lot of these were in screw downs, so I don't think they might come back as not authentic, because PSA is a little funny on that. And but I do like the look on SGC for the older vintage cards, and most of these are PC, so. And it wasn't bad. It's only going to be $15 a card, so I already got everything ready. So I'm going to do my predictions of what I think the grades are. So you can let me know what you think there. Let me put them over here. So our first one is 1914, 11 to 14 Brunner's Bell. I think this one's going to come back either a 3 or a 4. Feel free to look at the corners there. It's pretty clean. I like it. It's not bad at all. I try to be conservative with the grading. I don't want to overgrade. And our next one is 1911 to 1914 Brunner's Kelly. This one's a little on the rare side. I believe he's a Hall of Famer. This one I think is going to get a 4 because it really looks nice. And these are super duper hard to find, even as ones or authentics, because I don't think many of them got graded. And next one's a nice Hall of Famer. We got 1910 Hassan Jack Johnson. That's a side view. Very cool. But it does have a couple of creases, so I think it's going to come back a 1 or a 1.5. It's definitely rough. But again, these are all these three I might wind up selling, because I don't really collect too much of the older stuff. I like to keep 48 to present. I want to stick with what I call the modern era. So next one's 1941 double play, Ted Williams and Joe Cronin. This one sadly does have a big crease running right through the middle. It's super duper rough. I think it's either going to be authentic or a 1. It's really bad. But it is my earliest Ted Williams. I do like that one. And here's the one that kind of scares me. We got 1954 Bowman Ted Williams. This supposedly was found in a box in an attic back in like the 70s, so I doubt it could be fake. But the surface does there's a little fading here. It looks like it might have been something was over that, and the light or something might have went over it. In the back you can see, or it might have been in an album. Let's see if we can get that to focus a little better. You can see there's a little right there. See that? Looks like almost, I don't know if that was removed glue or something. But I think this one might possibly a 1 or a 1.5 because of the surface. It does have little dots on it and stuff. Almost like somebody took a pen and went boop, boop, boop all over it, but not writing. Just like kind of like an empty ballpoint pen or a pin or something. This one I really like. 1955 Topps. Jackie Robinson. This one is beautiful. Hopefully none of these come back trimmed, altered, all that yucky stuff. Because these are the ones that most of these came in the big, thick screw downs. I think this one is going to come back either a 4.5, or maybe a 5. I mean, it's really nice. There's barely anything wrong with it. Even the centering is not too bad. I think it's like 60-40 going left and right, and I think it's like 65-35 going up and down. And this is from that same original Ted Williams collection that was found in the attic. This one's a 56 grayback, and this one I think might come back a 3 because it does have a couple of issues with it. The centering is not bad. You can see, I think at one point this was an album, because you'll see 4 little what might have been residue spots that might have been like stuck in an album. So might even come back a 2 because of that. I don't know how they do their what do you call it on that, but I did run over it and it didn't feel like it was bumpy or anything. So here's from the other collection, if you remember the big major collection I bought. Got the 56 Topps Jackie Robinson whiteback. Beautiful whiteback. I think this one, in my opinion, I think it's a 5. I mean, yeah, there might be a little right there, and on the back there's a little tiny thing, but the centering is beautiful on this card. Again, I hope none of these end up being altered, which would stink, but it's beautiful. And see, there's a little bit right there, right by the 1420 and the 2. I don't know if that's printer defect or if that's just like a little minor stain. Hopefully it's a printer defect. And from the same collection, we got a 56 Topps Hank Aaron grayback. This one I think might be a 4, possibly a 5. Again, you can, if you want, you can let me know your opinion, what you think, how I did on grading, and we'll definitely find out in a couple weeks when they come back. But I love the corners on these. They're so beautiful. And hopefully they all come back slabbed. That would be beautiful. And this is my biggest card. 56 Topps Mickey Mantle, whiteback. I think this one might be a 3, 3.5, maybe a 4. max. And I think this one's really beautiful. The back is nicer than the front. The back looks like there's almost nothing wrong with it at all. Again, just a little bit of centering issue, as you can see. It's a little off top to bottom. And this one looks like it's off left to right. So otherwise, centering would not really be that bad. And you can see it does have that little corner there might hurt it. So, but that's definitely my biggest card I have right now. And next up to bat, we got the 56 Willie Mays. Let me just do that so we can get a little more room. And this one is a grayback. I think this one might be a 4, maybe a 3.5. I think it definitely fits the criteria for a 4, as the corners are really nice. Centering is not bad at all. It's not crazy bad. As you can see, there's definitely white around the whole thing. Just here and down there is off. It's kind of like tilted a little that way. But nothing, no marks on it, so that's good. And this one's a little lower grade. We got a 58 Topps Mickey Mantle All-Star. I think maybe a 3. I doubt it can get a 4, but depending on how generous they feel. And ignore the rippling, that's just a penny sleeve. It is super clean, so we'll give it that, as the corners are a little meh. And this is a big one too. We got a 1959 Mickey Mantle from that same huge collection. Corners are amazing on this one. I think this one might come back a 5. I like it's very clean. I mean, it does have a little darkening on the back, but that seems to be a known issue with this card. But the way the corners are beautiful. So hopefully that'll come back a nice. Again, most of these are going to be in my PC, so I really don't care about the value. It's more about just knowing that they're real. We got the 59 Topps Bob Clemente, and they look nice in the tuxedo. I think this one might be a 4, possibly a 5. Centering is nice. And the thing that's really cool, you can't really see it on here, that border is actually a different, it almost looks like it's a different type of, see how it stops at the yellow instead of going all the way across? My other 59s, the gloss is exactly the same across. This one almost like, you can see how it just differentiates between the border and the ink on the yellow. And the back is beautiful. Very nice corners. This is my oldest Roberto Clemente. Someday I'll get the 56. That would be nice. Or the 55 would be really nice. And next up the bat, we got, let's see, do it this way. We got a 61 Mickey Mantle. This one's rough. And I think it's faded too. See how the color is off? That might be faded. So I think a 1, maybe a 1.5 at best. It's a little bit rough. And sadly, I have 2 of these, and my other one is worse than this. But I love the mix, so this one I think is really going to come out nice. This one of my I think it's going to be my highest graded 50s, 60s card. So we got 62 Mickey Mantle All-Star. I think this one's going to be either a 5 or a 6. The corners are super sharp on it. Edges are nice. Surface is beautiful. Centering is not really too bad. The only little thing, there's a little line there from the next card on the sheet. That's the only thing I think keeping this out of, and the centering's a little off there, keeping this out of a possible 7. And again, anything past the 6, I really don't want to self-grade, because the tiniest little thing can make it a 6 or a 7. And this is the one I found at a rummage sale a long time ago in a huge collection, one of my earliest videos. 65, Steve Carlton. Didn't even know it was in there when I bought the whole collection. You can definitely tell by my reaction if you watch that video. This one's not bad, but this little corner here, it actually kind of flipped a little. So it's actually, let me see if we can get that to focus. Can't really see it. Let me see. There we go. Yeah, it's kind of having a hard time focusing. Anyway, that little corner, it kind of flipped up a little, so I think that's definitely some damage there. We got here, a little bit of whiting there, nothing too crazy, but this has been in the same box since like the 60s. So I think it might be a 3.5, 3.5, maybe a 4 if the graders are feeling generous. I think those corners might hurt it. And my next big mantle, 66. This one's beautiful condition. I think this one might be a 4, 4.5. Centering is, of course, one of the little issues. You can see it's a little off diagonally, but I mean, it's beautiful condition. No discoloration. Corners are super sharp, which I love on these older ones. Very cool. So I think that one, and the coloring is nice. Surface, edges, the whole shebang. And this one's a little rougher. We got the 67, and this one's Saudi. I don't see this one too often in really good shape, because it's a tough card to, and the centering always seems to be an issue. It's got a little rounded corner there. It does have a little mini dog ear on the bottom left. So I think maybe, let's see what I put that one at. Yeah, 3, 3.5, maybe a 4 if they're feeling generous. I think it's going to be more in the 3 range because of the condition. And this one I bought actually at a card show in my own town. And let's see, this one's a 68 bench. I think this one's going to be a 3.5 because of the condition. And it's definitely passed all the tests. Don't think my Nolan Ryan passed the test. I think my Ryan is a fake, sadly. But this one I think is beautiful. You can tell because it's a TCG, that little copyright. That's perfectly detailed. On the fakes, it's usually more thicker, and they usually can't get these parts right. The block lettering. So this one's really nice. Beautiful card. One of my favorite 68s besides Ryan. And this one actually came out of an original vending box that was bought in 1988. And I picked up the collection from the guy. It was 3 sets. They kept anything else extra. I think this one, the only thing really wrong with it is the centering. Centering is not really too great. I think this one might be a 7. I think there's a real possibility this comes back as a 7, if not a 6.5. I mean, everything is, like, the edges are really nice on it. These are impossible to find pure black. And this is probably about 65% black on the edges. Usually you see them as 6s, it's like 20 to 30% black. It's always a little pitting on the side. Kind of like marble chipping. So that one's good one. And this was from that card store we bought out that put everything in the locker back in the 2000s. I bought the whole collection. We got the Bird rookie and the Johnson rookie. Hopefully it doesn't end up being a reproduction or something, but it does have a little bit of here and here. I think that's factory because I've seen a couple online like that. This one I think might get a 6 or 7 because the centering is the only thing that's killing it. The centering is horrible, but the edges are beautiful. Corners are razor sharp, as you can see. So I think that one might be too good. And this one I think might be a fake, but I'm going to try it anyway. This was like on a whim. You can see how the yellowing is missing here and here. But even this one real, a 1.0 and this one's super rare. So I think this one might come back if it's authentic, maybe a 2 at most, 1.5 or a 2. But you can't say no to a Jim Brown rookie. This actually picked up at someone traded in. They want $30. To say, no, I'll take a chance on it. If not, oh well, it's a $30 reprint. It happens. And this was actually part of a collection. So we got a whole collection of football cards from the guy I bought the Ted Williams from. Nice Ted Williams collection. Got 76 Walter Payton rookie. I think that one, I like. I think it might come back a 4, maybe a 4.5. But the corners, I don't think give it that anything higher than a 4. The edges are nice. Centering is okay. It definitely is not perfectly centered, but it's better than some of the ones I've seen. And this one I just noticed this morning, a little corner there, but oops. I think this one, I'm going to lower my guess on this one. I was going to say a 4, but I think it's going to come back a 3, 3.5. As you can see, the edges are nice, but that corner there is a little smushed. It's actually almost, you can't really see it. Actually, right there, see that little indentation? I think that might push it to a 3. But it is one of my favorite cards from the 80s. I love the red and the green. And yeah, it's his rookie card, but it's not his rookie year. There should have been a 1980 Topps card of Montana, but they never did. I guess they didn't feel he was good enough. But he won the 81. I think they won the 1981 freaking Super Bowl. I mean, come on, Topps. Should at least had the insight. So there's all my guesses for grades. Let's see how many I get wrong and how many I get right. And we'll see you guys next time when, actually, probably a couple weeks from now, you'll see the follow-up video to this. And we'll see how many of these I got right and how many of these I got wrong. And hopefully all of them come back slabs and none of them come back as counterfeits. Though I think the Jimmy Brown might come back as a fake. But we'll see. And we'll see you guys next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.